The most exciting thing that I bought from the Amazon Spring Sale this year was a full-size CNC aluminum mechanical keyboard with 8K polling rate from Keychron. And that only cost me $150-something, $160 after tax. And you might be thinking, Steve, that's probably not a real keyboard. I've never heard of the P6 series of Keychron keyboards. Now, I assure you, I hadn't either. And I looked into it, and apparently without any fanfare, Keychron decided to silently launch on Amazon, not even on their own website, a new line of keyboard for Keychron, the P series. If you're familiar with Keychron, they have the regular, the Pro, and then the Max. Ultra now comes and is a little bit better than the Max. It has slightly newer switches. They're new Silk Palm switches. Same kind with the linear banana and brown. And they have the 8K polling rate, which is kind of the big thing. But there's no other P series keyboard from Keychron. However, there is from LemoKey. And if you weren't aware, Keychron has this spin-off brand called LemoKey that they release more keyboards under. I don't really fully understand why. Maybe they don't either, and they're absorbing it back in, which is why the new P series, which LemoKey has an entire P line, is a Keychron branded one instead of LemoKey. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that this is now on the Keychron website as well. There's still not very much information out there about it, and so I figured I'd do a review. We'll see if I can get it out before, you know, everyone has a review out. So I got the ones with the banana switches. Let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed again, because I mean I've unboxed it all. I've unboxed it already. Spoilers. But yeah, it's your regular Keychron box. It's got the shiny sleeve, little hologrammy type logo there. Comes with stuff that I'm definitely not going to read. However, it also comes with stickers. What? That's kind of cute. I like that it says it's powered by QMK firmware. However, I hate to tell you the sticker's lying. It's actually the ZMK firmware in the P6 Ultra. I'm not certain who these stickers are for. Maybe for someone, but yeah, stickers. It also comes with spare keycaps. So unlike every other Keychron keyboard, the P6 Ultra comes with the window keys in it by the default, which is interesting. Maybe they do that with the LemoKey P series as well. I'm not certain. I'm not a keyboard reviewer. Yes, you might notice that this is a keyboard and not a cell phone or a cell phone accessory, but have you considered using a USB cable to plug a keyboard into a phone? You can do it. Technically, a phone accessory. Plus, I wanted to review it. I needed a break from 26 Ultra cases. Now, as well in here, dongle extender, because this has the Wi-Fi, the wired, and the Bluetooth options. So there's a full set of 16 gaskets here. And as I understand it, we're going to discover this together. As I understand it, the P1 Pro has these same gaskets. And the extra ones they send are softer than the ones that are come installed. So I'm going to see if that's true for this as well, because it is a undocumented feature. And it also comes with Keychron's usual switch slash keycap puller, which we'll go ahead and pull out now. Actually, no, I'm just going to use my own. It also comes with a hex screwdriver. And the last thing in this little baggie is what I believe are extra feet. Yes, those are the feet. So I guess in case your feet fall off. Hey, while we're back here, let's look at the back of this keyboard. Oh God, it's heavy though. This is a very nice looking keyboard. I mean, it's regular Keychron keyboard. So those of you who are familiar are probably not in any way, shape, or form surprised by it. And finally in the box, the keyboard is in the box. Finally in the box, we have two cable options. We have a C to C and an A to C. And the A to C it's super nice. It's got like a winter coat on it. It's the softest and most pleasant feeling USB wire I've ever seen or felt. So that's kind of neat. All right, so let's look at the keyboard itself. Like I said, full size, all the keys are there, even this one, and I don't even know what this one does. They sound like this. I'll do a full sound test at the end, but that's just kind of a little taste. You might notice right away, these aren't the KSA or the OSA keycaps. These are straight up cherry keycaps. So that's interesting that Keychron did not use their special mountainous cup your fingertips keycaps that they kind of put in all their keyboards. Another big difference between this and say the Q6 or V6 Ultra or Max or anything is this knob here is in a smart place. It's over here in the top right where it should be, not like hanging out over here doing whatever it's doing next to the F12 key. So that's great. And you might say to yourself, okay, Steve, well, is this just like the Q6 but with different keycaps, or is this like the V6 but just all metal? And I'd say no. They took the things that really distinguish their new cases as Ultra and kind of did that to the Lemo Key P1 Pro and then made it full size as opposed to 75%. So that's kind of what this is. It is a lovely marriage between the P1 Pro and the Q6 Ultra, taking kind of bits from both. And the price is very interesting too. On Keychron's website it is $200. It is $199.90 whatever. On Amazon they have it listed at $179. I don't know why. That's not a discounted price. And then during the spring sale, and then again in another sale that I've seen since the spring sale, it was discounted down to $152. So again, it's a full size CNC aluminum 8K polling rate Keychron keyboard for $160 after tax, which is just crazy. Like the Q6 Ultra's to like 30 something off the top of my head. It's so much cheaper. Now, those of you who are not into keyboards would be like, well, that's a lot for a keyboard. But those of you who are into keyboards, that is a decent price. And for Keychron, it is an amazing price. When you start to really look into mechanical keyboards, Keychron is going to be one of the first names you come across. They're also a tad overpriced, if you ask me, and if you ask a lot of people, I think. But hey, they make solid, decent stuff. So bringing it back into terms that make sense on this channel, it's kind of like getting an OtterBox. You're paying a lot for the name, but also the peace of mind that comes with a name that well known. Now, it is gasket mounted, but there's not a lot of give to it. Okay, now I'm actually really excited to see if all of those spare gaskets have more give and are like softer and squishier. And now here's something that no other Keychron keyboard does as far as I can tell. Unfortunately, they didn't go so far as to make it so there aren't wires like connecting the two pieces of the board together, but check that out. We'll look at that again in a second. The keyboard, let's just go ahead and, no, not that one. Go ahead and, so yeah, the keyboard is fully hot swappable. I have the banana switches in here. So I can just take these switches out and replace them with, say, switches I have just lying around, like my Sioux Color V2s, which I love. So if I wanted to change out the keycaps and the switches, I just could that easily. And then you have something that sounds like this. I'm a sucker for the MOA and the MAO keycap profile because I love the way they feel and sound. So good reason to like them, I suppose. So yeah, that's how easy it is to hot swap it. They do the 3-pin or 5-pin, so basically all of your mechanical hot swappable switches. And we see here the south-facing RGB. So let's take a look under the hood. Again, that is so nice and easy to take it off that easily. So yeah, we've got these little gaskets here. Now, are these, the replacement ones are much squishier than the ones that come in it. So I am going to take a moment and swap those out. God knows how long that's going to take me. If you're new to the channel and haven't heard me say it before, I have nerve damage in my hands. So we're either going to skip forward or fast forward here. But let's see what happens. All right, before we go ahead and test that out, let's take a look at the switch before I put it back in. This is the Keychron Silk Palm Banana switch, which means it's got a little bit of a tactile bump, and it's got the little RGB window there. Here's a picture of the inside of the switch, because I don't have a switch opener. Yeah, it feels nice. They come in linear, banana, which is a kind of tactile, brown, which is another kind of tactile. I forget which is which. I'm not a keyboard reviewer, but if you do want to see more keyboard reviews, let me know down in the comments. I will happily oblige. That's definitely got more flex. Huh. So yeah, it comes with 2 sets of gaskets. It comes installed with the stiffer, less flexible ones installed, and you can swap them out for springier, softer gaskets if you so choose. So neat hidden feature, cool. Now the fact that they gave full 16 extra makes a lot more sense to me. It did not in the beginning. And I closed this up again. Why? Probably because I just wanted to open it. Because we didn't even look at the inside. So, like I said, it does have wires connecting the top and the bottom, which is unfortunate. While I can take those wires off and put them back on, the last time I did it, it took me 45 minutes to put the little one, because there's a larger one that you just kind of stick into the slot. And then a little one that you put on a tiny little circle, and nerve damage in the hands. Took me 45 minutes, not doing it again. Probably take a normal person about 5. All right, so looking under the hood. So in between the plate and the PC board, there is some foam and some film. And then there is more foam underneath the board, and then another kind of foam, and then more film. And then of course the battery is under there. The battery, by the way, has 660 hours if you're not running the RGB, which is insane. You can go months without needing to plug it in if you're not using the RGB. This thing's heavy. It's not heavy, it's my keyboard. It is 5 pounds and 2.5 ounces, which is 2,345 grams. 10 times the weight of phone. See, I'm still keeping it relevant. And here I'm going to keep it super relevant. Now I could not get the launcher to work on my phone, so I'm going to have to turn it over. I'm going to have to turn it over to Editor Steve real quick to do the launcher stuff. The Keychron software isn't bad. It's web-based. You don't have to download anything. There's all sorts of rebinding you can do, mess with the different layers, of which there are 4. Do some snap action type binding, mess with your backlight, mess with your polling rate, set up some macros, all sorts of stuff, and update firmware. It's all pretty intuitive. I think it's going to be perfectly adequate for most people's purposes. All right, thank you, Editor Steve. So yeah, that is the Keychron P6 Ultra 8K mechanical keyboard in its full aluminum glory. Like I said, I got it on sale for 150 bucks plus tax, which is amazing. This keyboard does receive the Purple Room Seal of Excellence. And do let me know again down in the comments if you'd like to see more keyboard reviews. Feel free to like and subscribe while you're down there. My name has been Steve, and now I will do a typing test in the most ridiculous way possible using my phone, because this is a phone review channel. honestly sounds pretty good. I'm not really a clacky keyboard guy. I like this. It's nice. This is whatever YouTube thinks that you should be watching next, and I will see you in the next one.